First of all, let me thank everyone for coming here today. Just for the record, I'm Alderman Bob Donovan. I represent the 8th Aldermanic District. Joining me here today is Alderman Jose Perez, who represents the 12th District. Along with, we're joined by business owners and concerned residents in this general neighborhood. And of course, we're here today to announce our effort called Operation Dear John. This effort has been designed, has been implemented in the past in the city of Milwaukee. We're resurrecting it again. It's designed to address the ongoing out-of-control prostitution problem in this neighborhood. And second of all, to address the demand side for the prostitutes. In other words, we want to address the Johns, the individuals who come into this neighborhood on a daily basis and disrupt the quality of life of our constituents and engage, I might add, in illegal activity, whether it's engaging in prostitution or whether it's engaging in illegal drug activity. Operation Dear John, this aspect of it, is a pilot project. We will be running it for at least 2 months, beginning this week. And it's our hope that if it's successful, we will continue it. We will be sending out letters to the Johns who are identified pulling up on these streets, engaging prostitutes. We will be sending letters to their homes indicating that this is a neighborhood known for prostitution and drugs. And if you're out here, we'd like you to be aware of that. Having said that, we've engaged a private security company to gather that information. And in addition, we're asking this private security firm to gather as much intelligence, as much information about precisely what is going on in and around this neighborhood. And if it's successful, we intend on expanding it to other parts of the near south side. We want to know what homes are being used by these prostitutes and drug dealers. We want to know what vehicles are coming into this neighborhood on a daily basis, committing crime after crime after crime. The message is very simple, very simple. If you're coming into this neighborhood to engage in criminal activity, don't. We don't want you. Get the hell out of here, because the quality of life of these neighbors are what we're concerned about, and their quality of life has totally and completely been diminished by the level of criminal activity going on around here. I'd like to extend a thank you to the various businesses in this neighborhood, including El Rey Groceries, Gill Petroleum's, this gas station right here behind me, and a special thanks to Christ Evangelical Lutheran Church and Christ St. Peter Lutheran School for helping fund this pilot project. In addition, a very special thanks to Operation Impact for picking up the difference in what this pilot project will cost and for their very generous donation to this cause. If any of you are not aware, Operation Impact has been in existence for about almost 10 years now. And it has raised funds through the private sector to help improve safety and security on Milwaukee's near south side. With that, I'd like to bring up my friend and colleague, Alderman Jose Perez. Jose?
Thank you, Bob. Good afternoon. I'd like to take a second to and always acknowledge the residents nearby, of the stakeholders, all the nonprofits who continue to contact the police in our office. It is so important that you're engaged in making a difference. Now, I'd also like to thank the pastors who we know are out here regularly and the Benedict Center who are working on the intervention. And last but not least, our police officers who are out here working diligently to make arrests and to help identify who these bad characters are. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Even with the help of the city attorney, we've helped shut down several houses where landlords were willingly participating in drug dealing. And now, most recently, the city attorney enacted the body ordinance to go after landlords participating in prostitution. And I want everyone to know that we're committed to continuing every effort, because as important as intervention and prevention are, the people on this street need relief. And this pilot program is just another layer that we're going to help with the problem. And we'll continue to add on layer after layer until the residents of this community feel the difference that we've all come together. I'd especially like to thank the leadership of the Operation Impact Board, who are working diligently to raise money, have helped offset the costs so we can have resources to identify these problem properties and these alleged Johns coming to our street so they don't come back. I'd like to thank Alderman Donovan for his leadership and everyone who's involved in making a difference on the near south side. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Jose. This is a copy of a letter that we will be sending the individuals identified as Johns in this neighborhood. And we're hoping that this acts as a deterrent. Again, we're not interested in sending out letters. We're not interested in making arrests. What we are interested in is giving relief to the good residents who live in this beleaguered, under siege neighborhood. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the board of Operation Impact, Betty Grinker. Betty?
Thanks, Bob. On behalf of the business and residents in this area, I would publicly like to thank Alderman Donovan and Alderman Perez for their efforts to eradicate what's happening in this neighborhood. The behavior here in this area has consumed the residents and the neighbors here. It has affected 2 parishes, 3 schools in the area, plus it has affected families and how they enjoy their summers. They have been locked up in their houses until the last week or so, when there's been the security and an additional effort to free the houses, the yards during the day. As you've heard, Operation Impact has been a partner in this. We want to thank all of you for being here. Operation Dear John is partially being funded by Operation Impact, as Bob said, some businesses in the area. We need more help in funding. I'm pleading for contributions which are tax exempt. They get made out, the checks would get made out to Operation Impact. And memo it, Dear John. You can send them to Alderman Donovan's office or Alderman Perez, or you can call me direct and I will pick them up. My phone number is 414-350-8932. Leave a message if I don't pick up the phone. I appreciate everybody that's here, and thank you for coming and listening.
Again, I would just like to say that myself and Alderman Perez and others have been listening to the residents in this neighborhood. We care, we're concerned, we are willing and able to do just about anything humanly possible to help relieve this neighborhood from the disorder that it finds itself in. So with that, I'd be more than happy to take any questions.
Alderman Donovan, can you break down how much this pilot program will actually cost?
$5,000 for 2 months, yes.
And how much will the organization be contributing?
Operation Impact has pledged to commit up to $3,000 at this time.
Any city dollars involved?
There are no city dollars involved, no. This is being funded again through Operation Impact and additional funds from the businesses I mentioned previously.
How similar is this to the 2013 initiative that you announced targeting Johns and Kim's, and how successful was that program 4 years ago?
Well, back then, I had reached out to Sheriff Clark. We had a joint operation within the police department and the sheriff's department, in which prostitutes or individuals, the Johns, their cars were being towed. I felt it was very successful at that time. Since that time, there's been a change in leadership at the district, and for whatever reason, that effort ended. So, but the message we sent back then was, you come down here, your car could be towed. And apparently that's no longer the case, but we're utilizing this Dear John approach. This approach was initially implemented in Police District 3 years ago, and I'm hoping it's successful down here.
You still need to raise a couple grand to fund the 2 months?
No, the pilot project is covered right now. We have raised at this point $6,000, so it will definitely cover the 2 months. There's extra money available to extend it, and I'm hoping through more donations that we could extend it to other neighborhoods who are suffering through the same problems. I know Alderman Perez is having difficulties along certain stretches of Lincoln Avenue, and the businesses are concerned about that. So we stand committed to doing absolutely whatever we can to address this ongoing problem.
Alderman, would you mind explaining a little bit more about this private agency that is being contracted for this?
Well, it's a private security company. They're licensed with the state of Wisconsin. They're capable. They're very experienced. They're a company that has a excellent track record of working with certain departments within the city of Milwaukee, including the police and other police districts, including the housing authority and others. So I'm confident that they're already gathering significant information for us.
Central Protective Services.
Central Protective Services, I'm sorry.
Is that information going to be used by Milwaukee police?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. If they choose to use it. But yes, the intent is to get this information, turn it over to the police. I will say this. Recently, I've been told by residents that they have seen an increase in police presence in the area. That is exceedingly welcomed. We also had a house raided just the other day, about a block from here, a house that was involved in drugs and prostitution. So we're hoping to keep the pressure on. I will say this once again, as I have said repeatedly, we believe, and I know I speak with Alderman Perez when I say we believe, to address this problem meaningfully, a multi-pronged approach must be pursued. That does involve social service organizations and outreach. Having said that, it does not mean that the police are off the hook. And law enforcement is critical to maintaining order and stability in a neighborhood. Any other questions?
Any final message to the Johns who are...
Well, my final message is this: peddle your wares elsewhere. Stay the hell out of this neighborhood and restore the quality of life to this neighborhood by staying the hell away. I'm all for it. I am willing to explore anything, and if it does mean additional state legislation, I'm all for advancing that. As I have a track record of working with legislators on legislation that recently passed the state regarding issues of carjacking and so on and so forth. So I'm more than happy to explore anything that can help reduce this problem if it's proven effective. Well, the Benedict Center is certainly involved in their way of trying to address the prostitution problem, but they're not specifically involved in the Operation Dear John.
Can you tell us more about what this letter says, and if I get one of these letters in the mail, if that's gonna turn it?
Well, I hope it does, especially if your significant other opens up the mail that day. Yeah, I can. Again, this is a letter that was the same letter basically used and signed, I might add, by Chief Flynn years ago. Yeah, the Milwaukee Police Department is currently involved in an extensive operation to abate the prostitution problem in Milwaukee District 2. There are 3 areas, so on and so forth. In addition to police surveillance, a significant aspect of this operation includes citizen and business information about prostitution activities. As part of the operation, we've noticed that you've been frequenting this area, so on and so forth. So we would be interested in any information from this John they may have regarding prostitution or any other illegal activities in this focused area. So that's essentially what the letter says. And if they have information, I would urge them to call the police. Any other questions? If not, thank you very much. Appreciate it.